Are we going to do the Rotary Minute or just get right into?
Straight
What?
into it.
All right, let's get straight into it. Welcome, everybody, to the September 17th Rotary Club of San Dimas meeting. Today, we are honored to have our District Governor, Gilda Moshir, with us today. And so I'd just like to welcome everybody, members and guests. We'll start with self-introductions. I'll call them in the order I see them, going around the wheel. Raymond Foster.
Hi, Raymond Foster, past president, current executive secretary, and Zoom master of the Rotary Club of San Dimas.
Great, thank you. And Rita McGee. Oh, you're muted.
I know, I had to move the camera up. Rita McGee, local estate planning attorney, and lots more.
Excellent, thank you. Sylvia Melendez.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sylvia Melendez. I'm the CEO of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Welcome, Sylvia. Elizabeth Sachs.
Good, good morning, everybody. My name's Elizabeth. I'm retired Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and blessed Rotarian.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Barbara Armstrong.
Satellite Rotary, Vice Chair of Making Spirits Bright.
Great to have you. Thank you, Barbara. Marilyn Sparks.
Hello, Marilyn Sparks with Marilyn Sparks Insurance Agency, Farmers Insurance. I also serve as the Los Angeles County Insurance Commissioners, and I serve on various other civic and community organization committees.
We know you do. Thank you, Marilyn. Anthony Porter, are you available to introduce yourself?
I am Anthony Porter, Satellite Rotarian, current president, Laverne San Dimas Educational Foundation.
Great. Thanks for joining us today, Anthony. And Manisha, as a guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Mike. My name is Manisha Braithwaite, and I work with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Thank you, Sylvia, for allowing me to attend this meeting. I heard Governor Gilda was going to be attending, and I thought it would be cool to listen in. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Mike Wallace. I'm the president of, I guess, two-time president now of the San Dimas Rotary Club. I've been in Rotary for about over 10 years now, and just happy to be here serving the community. And without further ado, we will get into our honored guest of the day. So a quick bio. Gilda is a life insurance broker representing over 50 carriers, dedicated to educating families about financial security since 2013, after witnessing her own family struggles as immigrants with limited access to financial guidance. A proud Persian-American who fled Iran after the 1979 revolution, she combines her professional expertise with a passion for service, calling herself a sandwich generation expert who helps families at every stage of life. Before insurance, she spent 16 years in early childhood education, running a Pasadena nursery school, and holds degrees from UC Irvine and Pasadena City College. Active in Rotary since 2012, she served as San Marino Rotary president in 2016-2017, district membership chair multiple times, and has been recognized with numerous awards for leadership, growth, and service. Deeply rooted in her community, Gilda co-founded the Hamoyan Language and Cultural Center to preserve Persian heritage, has led PTA and Boy Scout initiatives, and continues to connect people through her volunteerism, professional work, and cultural programs. She and her husband, Merdad, an astrophysicist, have raised two sons, Darius and Kian, and together celebrate over 30 years of marriage while remaining dedicated to family, culture, and community service. And I hope that I got those names right.
You did. Fantastic job.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
So, Gilda, take it away.
Thank you very much. So, it's such a pleasure to be here with you all. A few new things for me here today. You are the 27th club that I'm visiting. I started visiting clubs in July, and I look forward to coming to one of your in-person events. Michael was just sharing with me that you are an e-club, so that's news to me, and I learned that today. So I'm just taking it all in. We should all be familiar with the Zoom world now, right? And we are. But if I falter a little bit because it's not my go-to these days, forgive me. Give me some grace. So anyway, it is a pleasure to be here, and I know I'm going to share my screen in a moment and share with you what I want to recognize you, your club, your members. I'm going to share with you the district message, what we're doing at the district, how we can support you, how you can support the programs that we put on at the district. In addition to the presentation that Mike just gave you, the long bio, I have a shorter bio too. Apologies that I didn't send you the shorter bio, but let me share a little bit about my background. It's my 2-minute story actually. Prior to sharing that, let me just tell you, as a governor, I've been in training for the last 2 years, and this is my year of governance. So 1 year of governance, 2 years of training. And when I finish off next year as a past district governor, I will continue to be involved in the district in other capacities. My sort of claim to fame seems to be membership, so I'll continue to grow membership. And prior to knowing that we have an e-club, we got to form new e-clubs. So I hope that you will be a partner with us as we think about creating other e-clubs in our district. And some of you may know this, we are a district that spans Southern California from Pasadena to Barstow and Southern Nevada. We have 55 clubs in our district. Most of our clubs are either a morning or a noon or an evening club. And yesterday I said we don't have any e-clubs. Today I can say we have an e-club. So congratulations for being an e-club and realizing that that's something that would be successful for you guys. So I congratulate you. So my 2-minute story. Imagine a family of 6 sitting in their living room when all of a sudden they hear the screeching noise of tires from both ends of their house. And before you know it, a dozen men in dark green uniforms holding AK-57s are in their living room, telling them to put their hands in the air, and they ask for the head of household to be taken in for questioning. That family of 6 was my family. That was in 1979 in Iran. Maybe some of you know the history of Iran. It's been, 47 years since that happened. That head of household was my father, and he was this close to being executed. At that time, they were just purging, looking for people who were affiliated with the previous regime, and they were taking them in for questioning, never to come back. Thankfully, he wasn't taken in. They had the wrong person. A neighbor came to his aid and begged them and showed them all kinds of stuff. So my father was not taken in. But we escaped that Iran, and it's been 47 years since then. We did escape, and our family is intact. When we first got here, our intention wasn't to stay. Our intention was to escape and go back. So my parents gave up a lot in that sacrifice. And 47 years later, a proud American citizen, but also very proud of my Persian heritage. And that's why I created the language program, Humayun, in the name of my father. And so now I teach families here in diaspora who want to preserve the language and the culture for the Persian community. Lost my place. Give me a moment. All right. So prior to joining Rotary, I had served in multiple capacities, volunteer capacities, PTA mom, soccer mom, Boy Scout leader, Chamber of Commerce. It's great to see somebody here from the Chamber of Commerce. And I saw through your website that there is that collaboration, so that's wonderful. part of a team referral network, a business networking group. Joining Rotary in 2012 was at a time when my kids didn't need me as much in the schools, so Rotary got me. I believe that I learned the life of service through my family. I think it runs in my genes. My grandfather served as the governor of his hometown in Tabriz, Iran, back in the day. He's written multiple books about his hometown. One of his books sits at the Library of Congress. My father had studied English at Cambridge, and he brought back English to the country, taught it pro bono to the community at a time when English wasn't prevalent in Iran. And then my mother, who is still with me, she's 84. She's the ultimate servant, always thinks of her family before herself. My two boys, very proud of them as they got to their Eagle Scout honor. As for me, I've created many Rotary moments since 2012, since I joined. The most impressionable for me is giving keys to that family in Khorasan. I don't know if you've participated in Khorasan. It's a 1.5-day project where we go across the border and we build a home in a day, and we give keys to a family. Watching kids when they leave from RILA and TLC, I did see that you guys participate in that. Kids come up on Friday and they're a little anxious because they don't know 300 other kids, and they come back home with amazing relationships that they've built and a better understanding of Rotary and how they can impact their community. The work that we've done with sex trafficking and the work that we're doing with mental health. These are the things that I really care about, and they have made my Rotary moments, if you will. And as I end, I'll leave you with this quote from Gandhi: "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." Okay, so that's my 2 minutes. Any questions for me before I bring up my slides so far? Okay, excellent. Let me open my slides. Can you guys see my screen? All right. And I'm just going to hit from beginning. Hopefully I will be able to see you guys. Yes, okay. Zoom does funny things every once in a while. They're doing funny things. All right. Well, and Mike, will you give me a heads up on timing? It's 12:15. How much time do I have?
You really have as much time as you want. You could go 20, 30 minutes from now if you'd like.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot of business today. We've dedicated today to your visit. So
Okay.
yeah.
I do want to leave time for you guys to ask questions. I'm definitely interested in learning a little bit more about how you formed the satellite and then how the E-Club is coming, because we want to steal your ideas.
Absolutely. Okay, well, why don't you go ahead, and if we hit 12:40,
Okay.
then I will let you know, and
Sounds good.
that'll leave 20 minutes for
Sounds
questions, answers, and collaboration.
Fantastic. Okay, awesome. Alrighty, so I think you all know that the Rotary International slogan is Unite for Good. Every year there is a theme change. Now they call it a slogan. And I'm not sure if it's going to change next year. It may or may not. But anyway, theme slogan. This year it is Unite for Good. And we want to hear the stories that you create as you unite your community, the good that you do in your community. I just learned that you have a YouTube page. We have a new YouTube page, so we're going to do some partnership there. My slogan for this year as your governor is honoring our legacy, envisioning your future, our future. And what this is really being able to tell the story of our district and our clubs. As I mentioned, we have 55 clubs. When I first started in July, we had 57, so we're now to 55. And that history we want to preserve. We want to know what clubs were here, what clubs, why did they start, where did they start, who started them, what all the projects were, and then we also want to take a look at our future. where do we want to go in the next 3 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 50 years? The oldest club in our district is Pasadena. They started in 1920, and the most recent club was last year, the Aerospace Valley Club. So we want to always be thinking about the future. All right, I had asked your club president to fill out a brag sheet on your club. So this is what he's shared with me. Your club, it has a 65-year history. You were chartered on June 9th, 1960. And I just learned about 5 years ago, you became an E-club. So we will make a note of that. It is not noted anywhere, so we'll make a note of that. The projects that you are most proud of, the fact that you're focusing on military families and that your satellite club has doubled in size. Is that double in size in the last year, Mike?
So we founded the Satellite Club, I believe, 3 years ago, and it's consistently grown. But each year we've kind of done a purge of people who sign up and then aren't really as involved, and then we'll trim it down to those who are actively involved, and then it grows again, and then it grows again. So we have seen exponential growth with the Satellite Club. Based on it not being as time consuming or expensive. And it is a single purpose club supporting military families, which is a great cause, and a lot of people are excited to join.
That's awesome. Fantastic. You are most proud of your food drives and teacher grants. I saw a lot of comments about the food drives on your website and also on your Facebook. Your partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. As I was looking at your website, it showed your calendar for the year, and especially that you are already planning to do the 250th celebration, which is a big deal, for July of 2026. So fantastic. There are some clubs that I visited where they don't even have this week's calendar items on there. So the fact that you guys have next year's event, that's pretty incredible. Give yourselves a round. So your goals, based on what Mike has shared with me, is to collect over 10 tons of food for military families, to be able to give away $3,000 of teacher mini grants this coming year, and to send many kids to RILA and TLC. I haven't noticed, I shouldn't say, I know all the entries came in for RILA and TLC. How many do you typically send, Mike, and how many are you guys sending this year? I keep asking you questions. You're muted. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question?
On the RILA TLC, it says that you want to send as many kids as possible. How many
Yeah.
do you guys typically send, and how many are you sending this year?
Well, we typically send two students to each. Last year we sent more because we were lucky enough to have more signups, and other clubs did not receive as many applications. So
Gotcha.
we were able to send more students last year, even though as a club we had only signed up for 2 spots for each. This year we've committed to 2 each.
Okay.
And if we have in the past, if we've had more quality applicants, then we've tried to find a way to be able to send them.
Okay. And you may know this, RILA TLC, they swapped dates, right? So typically RILA takes place in March. We switched it with the TLC date that was in December. So we're doing that in RILA's happening in December, TLC is happening in March. And the reason for that is the spring juniors are busier with AP tests and whatnot. So we're hoping that that will help get more students in. And we did have a RILA coordinators training last night. Maybe one or two of you may have been on last night. But I know that even though the deadline is passed for RILA, I believe we still can take some students. So if that's something that may open it up for you. The other thing that we did add for RILA is 10th graders this year. We had that in years past, and then some of the governors felt like it really needed to be juniors, but we opened it up again to sophomores as well. So food for thought. Your membership numbers, you guys are 30 members, and this is directly from DAC-DB. You've got 14 active members, 14 satellite, one honorary, one leave of absence. So that's fantastic. And I'll be asking you more questions about your satellite. That's the number I had for your giving for last year. If that's inaccurate, you can let me know. With your website and social media, your website is awesome. You know, seeing that eagle, it clearly communicates your value. Instagram is not your thing. You've got 103 followers with the last post being in 2021. That's okay. You are on Facebook. Do Facebook and focus there. I just learned that you have a YouTube page, so if you send me a link on your YouTube, that would be awesome. So we can follow you as well as you guys follow us. So I'm gonna share with you next what we're doing that's new with the district. All of this stuff you're gonna hear about all year long when you get emails from me or you look at the highlighter. Do all of you get my emails? Do all of you get the highlighter and do you read it? Get is one thing, but reading is another. All right, I saw some nods. So some things that are new at the district. Vocational Services Committee, we have brought this back. We used to have a committee years and years ago, way before COVID. We had a chair who passed away, and people forgot about it. And I heard somebody say a lot of what happens under vocational is it overlaps with youth, so it may have been absorbed by youth. Anyway, we brought it back. There's really 5 avenues of service, and vocational is one of them. So under vocational, we're doing 2 things. One is we want to add to this business plan competition. My club in San Marino has done business plan competitions forever, similar to the Dan Stover, similar to the 4-way speech. We want to bring a business plan for juniors and seniors in high school. And the quickest, easiest way to think of this is think Shark Tank for juniors and seniors, right? So, you know, the same way that you would participate in Dan Stover and you send like 4 students, you could do the same thing with business plan competition. The intent forms for all the youth contests, they have not gone out yet. I'm meeting with the Vocational Services Committee this week, and we're going to solidify some things and get that sent out. So you'll see one intent form for the 4-way speech, the Dan Stover, the business plan, the ethics contest, and you can tell us, you know, how many, if you plan to participate. Criteria for the competition will be sent out. So wait until we're solidifying some details. The other thing that we're bringing on vocational is Rotary Means Business. So what is this? We want to have networking events. So Sylvia, I think it's you who's with the chamber. We see at Rotary, we see a direct connection with business and Rotary. We tap into businesses to come to our events, to donate, to sponsor, and many of us are business owners, right? There is nothing wrong with us as business owners building trust with each other and giving business to each other. There's nothing wrong with that. Rotary is not a chamber of commerce, but we are a service-based networking group. And there's a lot of time that we put into this service organization. And there's nothing wrong to exchange business with one another. So we want to have business networking events that help us as business owners, as Rotarians, but also we open that up to the community so they can come learn about the value of Rotary and why they should join and consider joining us in addition to the Chamber of Commerce, in addition to, you know, the business networking event. Okay, so more to come from this group. We want to talk about becoming a peace builder district and or being a peace builder club. And you may have some stories. You may be a peace builder club. Are you guys a peace builder club? Let me ask that question. Have you guys done a peace poll in your community that you know of?
Not that I know of. I know our foundation chair, Marianne, attends the Rotary Peace Conference whenever it's local. and we typically sponsor that as well.
Great.
But I'm not familiar. Raymond may have a longer history than me, but I'm not familiar with us doing a peace poll or anything like that in our community.
I see him saying, no, that's okay. That's okay. So, and that's part of, why we do the visits, because I uncovered last week with West Covina that they've done 2 peace polls, one at the high school, one at the college. And to be a peace club, there's a series of steps that you have to take to get a peace poll. There is a cost for the peace poll. It comes from Rotary International. So we have 2 committee chairs of the district, Betty Bowie and Gino Reyes. They will be sharing more information. So look for that information to be a peace building club, and then for us to be a peace builder district. We know that there are peace polls in our district in Las Vegas and also in California. We want to do more of those in light of all the events that continuously happen, especially what happened last week. Rotary is an ambassador for peace as an organization. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to bring the community together to celebrate the wonderful work that we do. More to come on that. We want to continue working in our community, helping the homeless. I know you do a lot for veterans. That's near and dear to me as well. So care for the underprivileged. Community Services Committee, that's another avenue of service. So we brought that to the district. We have a committee chair. Last Saturday, we actually had an essentials training, and it was taught by our Community Services Committee. They talked about come see what we do. Did anybody, was anybody from your club, this group that's here, anybody on that essentials training last Saturday? No worries, no worries. We can't go to everything. We're actually in the midst of putting all the information together and sending it out to everybody. So you'll see the recording, you'll see the resources that were sent out. As you all know, we're a service organization, so it almost may seem a little bit like, wait a minute, we're all doing service. No, not everybody does. Some of our clubs are great at check writing. So we wanted to bring this to the district so that we can give all of our clubs the opportunity to see what everybody in the district is doing to inspire ideas, to inspire action, and collaboration. So I'll share with you on the Come See What We Do. This is a campaign that our district decided to embark on about 3 years ago when Mike Soden was the governor. And the governor line met several times for, I don't know, 6-7 months to figure this out. But it's a platform. Think of it as a public image platform that goes outside of our Rotary district, and it goes into our region, the areas that we are in. We at the district, we committed $40,000 towards this campaign over 3 years. So the first year we created the website. So I want you guys, when I'm done talking, I'll put it in the chat. Come see what we do.org. You can find it from our website, the District 5300 website. You can also just Google it and go there, and you'll see our entire region represented. First year, the website was created. Second year, we ran a campaign. I apologize. We ran a campaign first year, second year. We have a campaign to run under my year, and it's a $10,000 expense to the district. No cost to the clubs, but here's what we need from you. We need you to tell us your service projects. A form is going to be going out in the next day where you'll have the opportunity to tell us minimum 3 projects. If you have more, we want more of those. And we want to make sure that your projects are on DACDB, our calendar. When they go to DACDB, they're going to immediately go to Come See What We Do. And then the campaign will run between October and December, and it will go out to the world, right, in our regions. And The idea is for non-Rotarians to see what we do so they can sign up, they can register to come to your activity and feed the military families or collect, food for the military families, whatever your project is. And those individuals over time, when they come see what you do, they're going to want to join you. That's the idea. Public image, community service, membership is that continuity. I'm not going to go into Epic Day. When I send you the information, you'll see what the Epic Day is. We just want to know what everybody's doing. Look, I didn't even know you guys were an e-club, so we gotta get that information out there. So I shared earlier about RILA and TLC. We've switched the dates. I shared that RILA is going to be now 10th graders. So hopefully that will increase both leadership camps. Any of you who have not been to RILA or TLC, not seen it, if you've not been a facilitator, I would highly encourage you to consider. It's a lot of fun. Okay, I referenced essentials training. So essentials, in the past, we would teach Rotary concepts, membership, public image, DEI, foundation. We would teach those for 3-4 times a year. What we decided to do this year is to teach them all year long. So instead of 12 months, I think we have 10 months of training. And we've decided to do these on the second Saturday of the month from 9 to 10:30 in the morning, an hour and a half. By the way, they used to be like 3 hours. So we cut it down and we made it all year long. Okay. So first month we did a talk on membership, different ways of looking at membership and growing our district and your clubs. Last week we did one on community services. Next month is going to be on public image. So whoever can attend, please come. You're going to gain a lot. Everyone, the 2 that we've done, we have gotten about 30 to 40 people coming on, and we've gotten really good feedback. We're open to the good, the bad, the ugly. Tell us your feedback. Come share with us and give us your input. Multi-district conference. So I decided when I got on this journey to be a governor, I've been basically studying or learning with 29 other districts from Western United States, which we're all part of Zone 26. I've trained with folks from, there's about 8 districts in California. So I've trained with 8 other governors from California, Montana, Utah, Hawaii, Washington, where else? Arizona, Denver, Colorado. So myself and 3 other districts, we are collaborating. 5320, which is Orange County, 5330, which is San Bernardino, and 5340, which is San Diego. We're collaborating with these 3 districts to put together a really nice conference next year, April 24th through the 26th at the Gaylord. Any Gaylord people here? Some people love, you guys know, have you heard about the Gaylord? Okay, Marilyn is like nodding her head. Okay. The Gaylord is like this amazing resort. It's like a city. This is the 6th Gaylord around the country, and it is in Chula Vista, California, so San Diego County. And it's an amazing space, and it's conducive to family. They have like multiple pools and I think like 13 restaurants. So it's going to be an amazing space. And conference, what I need to convey, conference is an opportunity to celebrate. So we're going to bring in Rotary International speakers, but we're also going to bring in speakers that are not Rotarians that can really attract, that can be universally appealing, not just Rotary language, right, if you will. So I hope you can come. Let me talk about membership. So our district is very focused on membership. You heard Mike in my bio share that I've been doing membership at the district. So a couple of things that I want you to think about. we want to expand your clubs. We know clubs are always, like Mike, you just mentioned, some people they get started and then you don't see them for a while. And then, then you have to kind of move them around or figure out what's going to work. And, it's membership is a revolving door, right? And it's not just our organization that has that. It's every organization, whether, it's a networking group, a chamber of commerce, every organization it's a revolving door. It's continuously, it's open and closed, right? People come in and people leave. So what we want to do is really promote Rotaract clubs. If you don't have a Rotaract in your community, to consider giving birth to a Rotaract club. And what is a Rotaract? It used to be Rotaract was only open to 18 to 30-year-olds. They've changed that. Now you can be 18 to any age, and you can open up two different kinds of Rotaract. It can either be a community-based or college-based. College-based, it's a little tricky because of attrition. If it's a 2-year college, they're going to come in and leave, and they move on really fast. And if they haven't replaced themselves, then finding leadership can be tricky. If it's a 4-year, a little bit easier, a little bit longer time. Community-based, no interaction with college, but think of like a group of young professionals that come together and they can't meet in the morning, they can't meet at lunch. Maybe they want to meet on Zoom. Maybe they just want to meet to do a service project. Maybe they meet at a bar and then plan their service projects. So the beauty of Rotaract is it's super affordable. So Rotaract clubs, if it's college-based, they pay $5 Rotary International dues, $5 per member. Currently, the district doesn't have dues for Rotaract. I think in the future we may, but currently we don't. Okay. For community-based, it's $8 per member for Rotary International dues. Okay. The only caveat with Rotaract is when you're a Rotaractor, you can't, like if you want to run for governor, you can't run for that. You can't be considered. And in the RI world, technically you're not a member. That's the part that it's not so fun, right? So you're a Rotaractor. So you may have met Rotaractors. If you know Rotaractors, some of them will join a Rotary club and be a Rotaractor, so they can have a dual membership. Whereas Rotarians, we can't, right? You can't have dual membership. You can be an honorary in another club, but you can't have dual membership. Did I confuse anybody? I hope I didn't confuse it. All right, I got a little too many details there. The other thing that we are considering, that we're really pushing, not considering, we're really pushing, and we're hoping clubs will take advantage and take a look at. You have created a satellite club, and it's worked for you. And that's why I want to pick your ideas and share this with the rest of the district. We may have you do a talk on how you went through that process, right? So a satellite club and a companion club, the companion club is a type of a satellite club. A satellite club, typically when you form it, at some point, they may separate from you. And Mike, let me ask you, your satellite club is still part of your San Dimas club?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, our satellite club it's a single purpose club, and they are still, they're all Rotarians. They're members of the satellite club, and so there are different expectations, different dues, and then they kind of come together with our military family support service project and focus on those, whereas the rest of the club absolutely does that as well. But then we have our weekly meetings and higher dues and other programs that we put on throughout the year.
So your satellite club, do they have a board, or are they tapping into the board of your club?
They do. They do have their own board. Well, they have their own president. They don't have their own board.
Gotcha.
They're run through our club, but they do have their own leadership.
Okay. So do you foresee in the future that they might separate from you?
I don't think so. I think it depends, how far it goes. There's no plans for that as of now. But our satellite club does not have a geographic location, and it is for military family support. So it's such a great cause, and there's such a large need throughout the country that it's certainly possible that that club, without a destination, without a geographical location, and with it being online, could end up attracting members throughout the country and kind of outgrow us. That's certainly possible.
Okay.
But there's no plans for that as of now.
Okay. So traditionally, the satellite club at some point can separate if everything, if they want to, right? And sometimes when we talk to clubs about, adding a satellite club, sometimes clubs don't want that, right? Because they've invested in this group and they formed it and they want it to stay with them. So that's where companions come in. So a companion club now, and sometimes it's language, right? It's what Rotary International is right now. Rotary International is promoting companion clubs. And so think of your satellite club being a companion club, and it doesn't go away from you. It doesn't separate from you, whereas a traditional satellite club can. So that's what we are talking about at the district, because I've a lot of the clubs that I've talked to, they want to grow their membership. They don't want to necessarily start a satellite that's going to take off and be independent. By the way, back in the day, so like Pasadena has started like three clubs. Las Vegas has started like 4 clubs. And it's always it's a source of pride for a club to say, we founded such and such club. We founded, the satellite club or the Rotaract club, whatever it is. And that's just a great way of passing on that leadership, right? And that mentoring. So it's a good thing. But making sure that clubs recognize that could, that could be something. It's a conversation. So those are the things that we are promoting. We have a series on inclusive leadership. I think you're seeing those emails. We do podcasts once a month, and then there's a Zoom. I believe this week on the 19th, we have a Zoom call. Those are run by Gino Reyes. And if you haven't come, I encourage you to come. It's more of a dialogue of like, how are things going? It's more of a check-in. And microaggressions sometimes run in any organization with people. So I hope that you will consider coming. We are promoting membership days for clubs to take a look at doing a day where everybody is asked to bring somebody, invite somebody, and they learn what Rotary is about. Kind of like an assembly, but for the non-Rotary world, right? For inviting people that could be potential members. Okay, moving along. Already, other things that are going on.
Gilda, just so you know, we're at 15 minutes.
We're at how many?
15.
15.
remaining.
So I have 5 more?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, very good. Alrighty. So I'll just touch on these. We have a public image team. We've got our Facebook page, a new Instagram page. We're now following you. Come back and follow us. We've got our YouTube page. I think you put your link on YouTube on the chat. Are you guys familiar with Ignite? Anybody here using Ignite? Okay. I'll send a link to Mike. It's part of DACDB. Think of it as DACDB, but an app. It's an app, right? And you can get DACDB mobile. DACDB mobile has a little bit more detail. Ignite is communication app. If you guys do billing through DACDB, you can people can pay you on Ignite if they're visiting. Well, you guys are on Zoom, so nobody's visiting you. If they're meeting you in person and they got to pay, you can go through Ignite. Ignite also has something like a communication portion that you can communicate with your club members. Mental health advocacy committee is continuing. We're doing an event actually this Friday where this group has kicked off, which is our Walk Out of Darkness event. It's with the Industry Hills Rotary Club. We do have a historian this year who will take your stories and memorialize them and take them and share them with our district. So we definitely want to hear your stories as a unique e-club. We're continuing the work with human trafficking. We have a vocational training team. You'll hear more from them. And then if any of you here want to learn about India and want to be part of the Friendship Exchange, we're doing that again this year. I believe it was in the highlighter last month. So that's in January. We're continuing the work of Eaton Fire and supporting the victims there. Obviously, the Altadena Club is really focused on that. And the Polio Plus Society, Mike Zoden started this a few years ago, where you can give $100 each year for 3 years, and you can be a Polio Plus Society member and you get a challenge coin, or you can give $300 and get that recognition right away. We want every club to be a Paul Harris club, participating in Rotary Direct. We're going to have 2 end polio fundraiser events, one in January, one in February in our 2 different states. So we don't impact, and we don't expect people to cross borders, but more information on that soon. Okay. I am going to move, I'm going to stop right here, actually. All right. So I want to know more about your e-club and your satellite club. And so, yeah, I know you shared with me that, 3 years ago, you started a satellite club. And
Raymond, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was around 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was the beginning of 2022, in February 2022, and through March when we made the application to Rotary International. That's correct.
And tell me, what was it, because you're an e-club, so what was the impetus for a satellite club?
Well, we went over to becoming an e-club because of the pandemic, and because it worked out for us so well, we stayed that way. But the satellite club, originally we were approached about 5 years ago by, well, Barbara Armstrong's group, the Diamond Bar Women's Club, originally approached us about they had lost a funder for a project they did, and they asked us to assist them. And it was to provide Christmas gifts for enlisted personnel at Camp Pendleton, 29 Palms. During a site visit, we found out that there were food banks on military bases. And so we did a food drive in conjunction with, Governor Betsy. She had everybody do a food drive on Valentine's Day. And we raised 3 tons of food for Camp for 29 Palms. But 4 months later, the food was gone. So we wanted to come up with a permanent solution to providing food to the regional military bases, the 4 of them. First thing we did was we formed a satellite club because it was a single issue club. It allowed us to focus certain things. We also founded the San Dimas Rotary Foundation so that we had some more flexibility as far as a 501c3 goes. And that allowed that club. And what we did was that club benefits from the infrastructure of the larger club, the checking account, the Zoom account, those things. We significantly reduced their dues so that it was more attractive. And that's basically, they work on military families, and it's become very, that's a single issue club. So that's it in a nutshell, Mike. I think I covered everything.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we were very proud of ourselves, patting each other on the back, feeling good that we brought 3 tons of food up to the Family Services Center, YMCA on base at 29 Palms, and we were kind of disheartened to figure out that was only going to last about 4 months. So
yeah, they ate the food.
And then the food that you're bringing, is it the dry food that that the Rise Against Hunger and those groups do, or is it like canned food and like what is the food? What kind of food are you taking?
It's really everything. A lot of canned goods, dry as well, non-perishables. We also take hygiene and diapers, and Raymond did a lot of research and found out how many young enlisted families are depend on additional assistance, nutritional assistance, and that food insecurity in the military, particularly with young enlisted families, is very prevalent around the nation.
Mm-hmm. And then
So-
are you also partnering with District 5280? Because I believe there's a gentleman who works with Cam Pendleton. I can't think of his name right now. I think it's David. Are we partnering with any other districts?
No,
No.
we don't want, okay, so that comes into, well, that comes into whose ox you're gonna gore. And with what's going on, cooperation isn't, as you know, there are specific Rotary rules that prohibit inter-district and inter-club communication and cooperation. You have to go through the district governor, so you'd be well aware of anything when we coordinated with them, because we got in trouble once for trying to do it. The slide you saw there, that's 26 pallets of food. That's 6 tons of food. And there's more than 40 community organizations that are involved with the Rotary Club. And what we've done is developed a list of 2,500 organizations. You know, Rotary International rules prevent us from sending a letter to clubs within our district or without our district about this event. But they don't prevent us from sending a letter to every VFW, every American Legion, every Kiwanis Club, every Elks Club of Eagles throughout the state. And so we'll get 70 volunteers on that Saturday. And we will, we palletize that food. It's all sorts of food that comes in all sorts of conditions. It has to be inspected. Some of it will go to a local food bank because it's past the expiration date. We don't send expired food to military families. And then on that Monday, there's a big transportation. We have to have a 53-foot van that goes one place and pickup trucks go into the other bases because there's 4 bases involved. So it's a huge project we do every 6 months. We've already calendared March 14th. And if you look throughout this room, all these people in the room are heavily involved in this endeavor. So that hopefully answers several of your questions. We take in anything?
I would just like to make one point. Amazingly, sometimes some of the requests we get from the military families are things like cleaning supplies. That's not the bulk of what we do, but there's just such a big need there.
Fantastic. So, Raymond, if you're open, I would love. I don't know if there's. So here's the thing. I know within DAC-DB, we got to stay within our district, right? When we're sending information out, and then when we go outside of our district, because I'm collaborating with 3 other districts. So whenever I'm collaborating, and I have to send emails to non 5300, I have to go through a process with our administrator, Tom Novotny. But it doesn't mean that I can't send it or I can't ask. So I'm going to challenge you and say, okay, give it to me. I'll figure out a way if you guys are open. If you're open, I think partnerships is, clearly, partnerships are the way to go. You're making those partnerships with community organizations. So if you're open to having partnerships outside of our district with neighboring districts, you tell me and I'll find the way.
This month alone, we've had Zoom calls with the Rotary clubs in Southampton, Virginia, and in North Carolina, and in San Francisco, who want to duplicate what we're doing. And so what we're really interested in now is showing people how to duplicate so they can feed their military bases through the Satellite Rotary Club. And we're always, absolutely, I will send you the information and hope that you pass it on. We'd love to have more the merrier.
I met with Apple Valley and Victorville yesterday. They're very focused on veterans as well, Apple Valley especially. There was a gal there yesterday. She and her husband are both members. They are veterans of the Air Force, and they do a ton of programs for military families. So I'd love to make that connection as well if you're not already connected with them. They also want to be a resource to veterans as they're applying for benefits. There's always this delay on how to get benefits. I don't know if you are connected to that, but I would love to, connect you guys.
So one of our satellite Rotarians is James Zenner, who's the Director of Military and Veterans Affairs for all of LA County, for the county. And so we use his Veteran Services officers who will come, and if a Rotary Club would like to have a presentation on what can be done in LA County in particular, we have all kinds of resources here. So we'd love to have any connections you have, Governor, and we always let people help.
I feel like we don't toot our own horns, right? We got to talk about what we do, and your community knows you. I didn't know, so forgive me for being in the dark about this, and I definitely want to make those connections. I'm the connector. I like to connect people. What are other questions that you have for me? Um, Based on my presentation or anything really that piqued your interest. By the way, before I let you answer any of the committees that I mentioned, if there's something that caught your eye that you're interested in, reach out to me. These are all committees at the district. You're welcome to join anything that looked interesting. But what are some questions from the group? Yes, sir.
So what would be useful for me, I know about the Come See What We Do site, and I have tried forever to try to get our stuff listed on there. And I'm certain it's probably integrated with DAC-DB, but I can't figure it out. If somebody would, and I don't want to go, if they would just do a 2-minute video and drop it up on YouTube, we have a playlist on our YouTube thing called Rotary Essentials, so that I don't have to train somebody twice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love that. I would love a thing where I could just go and look and get the answer I want.
So I'm glad that you brought that up. Who's the DAC-DB person in the room? Is that you, Raymond?
That's me,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that's you. All right. So we actually we in order to do this essentials, we did a check, and we were like, wait a minute, we have this Walk Out of Darkness event that was given to us for about a month ago, but it's not showing up. Why isn't it on there? So we went and looked for it, and the reason it wasn't on there, um, the club president had put it into the event in DAC-DB, but he had marked it as an event, not as a service project. So when you go to DAC-DB, so I'll just give you that quick answer, because if you've got projects, we want to hear about it. And believe me, like I had Rotary International reach out to me and say, Gilda, what are your projects? Well, I have no idea, because none of them show up on the on the calendar. And I know why they don't show up, because like you just said, we're not making it easy for people. So we do have some slides. We're gonna share this video from last week. The video is an hour long. We're working towards making it easier. So we're working on that. We know that that's a need for sure. Thank you for sharing. Any other things? Any other questions? Manisha, thank you for being here.
That worked.
And did
And
it
now,
okay?
yeah,
Now
the
it
Marine
shows
Corps
up.
dinner is now on Come See What We Do. That worked. That solved the problem. That's all I needed to know. There you go.
Beautiful. If I can give you an easy answer and you could do it right on the spot. The other thing I'll tell you is I'll mention this, and I picked on Glendora last week when we were on the call. So Glendora had some event, and it was in the calendar, and it was on Come See What We Do, but there was no information about it. So please use that description paragraph, or that box for the description, and tell us what it is, right? Because for the Rotary world, for us, we're in it, and okay, yeah, I know what that is. But the Come See What We Do is for the outside world. They don't know anything about us. They're going to find it, and they're going to click on it, and they're going to want to go. But if it doesn't say what it is, it may not capture. So Come See What We Do is really, it's supposed to, like I mentioned earlier, it's supposed to get non-Rotarians to learn about us. Come see what we do. Come see what we do. And then hopefully at some point join us. Trying to think. Yeah. Any other questions for me?
No, thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you for being here, and yeah, a lot of information. I did drop a few links in the chat, as well as the date of our next food drive. And we will collaborate and get you that information to send out, as well as getting it up on that portal.
Mike, when is your next in-person event?
Well, our next, I guess it's not technically a club event. Our next in-person event will be the U.S. Marine Corps dinner. That is Monday, November 10th. But the next club event in person will likely be a social in December. Correct me if I'm wrong, Raymond.
No, that's correct. Marine Corps dinner is on November 10th. And it's run by the foundation, San Dimas Rotary Foundation. And we've sold all 200 seats.
Right.
Wow.
But we always do a social in December where we get together usually at a local restaurant at around 5:30 and have dinner together and get see each and every member in 3D. So that's always a good time. We have not set the date for that yet, but Raymond, I see a hand.
So also, while we have the governor here, we have talked about morphing the Marine Corps dinner. We've been moving it more towards Rotary because it started out really as a Masonic function. It's become a Rotary function. And we talked about presenting a Paul Harris Fellow to a community member. And I was wondering, if you look at your calendar, Governor Gilda, on November 10th in the evening, the dinner is at 6 o'clock. If that's something you could attend to present the Paul Harris Fellow to a community member, then I'd like to, at the board meeting, which is our first meeting in October, I'm going to push the idea. I'm thinking that Emmett Badar would be our first non-Rotarian that we would give he's a Marine Corps veteran, the mayor, done a bunch of service projects. So the board meeting, we want to talk about that.
Wonderful.
But are you available on that day?
I am available, and nothing is on my calendar for that day. So, and I know November 9th, the Apple Valley Club is doing a veterans event. They just informed me yesterday. So I'll probably be there the day before, but I'll be at yours on November 10th. So count me in.
Okay, I will, if you'll shoot me an email with your address, I'll have to send you a ticket. And we'll take care of that.
Wonderful. I did forget one thing. Can I share my screen? How much time do you have, Mike?
We are over, but that's okay.
Okay.
This
This
is
was
sort of
important. This was really important, but I prefer giving this in person. And when I see when I see you guys in person, you'll get it in person. But shoot, I forgot this. Okay. First of all, is Barbara Feliciano in the room? Was she in the room?
She is not. So she
She's
lives
not
out
in
of
the room.
state, but she has continued to
That's right.
perform services for us, bookkeeping and taxes.
I see.
She was local for many, many years, a very essential part of our club. And even with moving out of state and being involved in everything in her local community now, she still volunteers her services and helps us with our bookkeeping and our taxes and all of our filings.
So make sure that you let your member, Barbara, know and thank her because she has been recognized as an impactful player behind the scenes. So everything that Mike just said. And okay, we didn't lose the other member. All right. So I talked about envisioning our future. When we're in person, I like to make this a big deal. So the Club Catalyst, who's the Club Catalyst? You guys can see my screen, yes?
Yes.
Okay. As we envision our future, we must look for the catalyst that sparks a new vision to carry our legacy into the decade ahead. The catalyst is someone who sparks lasting impact, the person who takes bold action to lead and bring energy into a club and the community, the person who becomes the driving force for progress. Drum roll, drum roll. Raymond Foster. Is your club catalyst? I don't think it's a surprise. Let's see okay, good. I see a smile. All right. I can see the visionary with the discipline and the planning to see ideas come to life. So congratulations. When we meet in person, you'll get the official plaque. And
Thank you.
Yes. So anyway, that was that. I apologize. I completely forgot to recognize your people, your good people. So
That's okay.
fantastic.
All right. Well, Raymond, do we have any crucial business that needs to be taken care of today? I think we can recap the cornhole tournament later, and we have a board meeting before the Marine Corps dinner. So I think we're already over just with respect to everybody's time. I think we just kind of go ahead and cut it off there. What do you think? Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Gilda, for your time and your wonderful presentation. Really appreciate everyone.